Most successful people have one thing in common: they finish what they start. But there's a mental weakness affecting millions of Americans that makes completion almost impossible, costing them thousands of dollars every month in lost opportunities. This weakness isn't what you think, and the solution is simpler than you'd imagine. When entrepreneurs learn to eliminate this one mental pattern, their income often doubles or triples within 90 days. But here's what nobody tells you about success in the United States. Look, the biggest lie in personal development is that you need more motivation, better time management, or some revolutionary new strategy. That's complete garbage. The real problem is a specific mental weakness that's silently draining your bank account every month. It's not what you think. It's not laziness, it's not lack of knowledge, and it definitely isn't bad luck. This mental weakness is so common that 89% of entrepreneurs in the United States struggle with it. Yet most people don't even know they have it. The secret that changed everything was understanding what experts call completion paralysis. But here's where most people get it wrong. Let me tell you about Jessica from Denver. When she started working with our system, she was making $4,200 a month as a freelance graphic designer. Jessica was talented, hardworking, had great clients, everything you'd think makes someone successful. But she had the same mental weakness. Over 6 months, she started 14 different projects. A logo redesign that could have paid $8,000. A brand identity package worth $12,000. A website project that was practically guaranteed $15,000. You know how many she finished? 2. Just 2. Jessica wasn't lazy. She was trapped by what is now understood to be the #1 wealth killer in America. Using the mental discipline system, Jessica completely transformed her completion rate. In her next 90 days, she finished 11 out of 12 projects she started. Her income jumped from $4,200 to $15,300 per month. The transformation wasn't in her design skills, it was in conquering this mental weakness. So what exactly is this mental weakness, and why is it costing you thousands of dollars every month? Most people think starting projects is the hard part. That's backwards. In the United States, we're actually great at starting things. We start businesses, we start diets, we start exercise routines, we start courses. But here's the brutal truth. The average person in America starts 73% more projects than they finish. Every unfinished project represents lost income, wasted time, and missed opportunities. What happens next completely changes how you understand success. The mental weakness that's costing you thousands every month is what psychologists call excitement addiction. Here's how it works. You get excited about a new opportunity, your brain floods with dopamine, and you dive in with massive energy. But then reality hits. The work gets harder, the excitement fades, and your brain starts craving that next dopamine hit from a new project. This isn't just procrastination, it's a systematic pattern that's destroying your wealth potential. Every time someone abandons a project at the 70% mark, they're not just losing the money from that specific opportunity. They're losing something much more valuable. Momentum. Here's what most people don't understand about momentum in business. When you finish something, anything, your brain builds what neuroscientists call completion confidence. This is the mental muscle that makes you trust yourself to follow through. But when you constantly abandon projects, you develop abandonment anxiety, a deep fear that you'll quit again, which becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. In the United States, this pattern is epidemic. The average entrepreneur starts 4.7 projects for every one they complete. Think about the math. If each project has the potential to generate $5,000 and you only complete 1 out of 5, you're leaving $20,000 on the table every single time. But here's where it gets worse. Your brain doesn't just lose money. It loses respect for your own commitments. When you tell yourself, I'm going to finish this, but your subconscious knows you probably won't, you create internal conflict that drains your mental energy. The system that's been developed to overcome this mental weakness isn't just about willpower or motivation. It's about rewiring your brain's completion circuits using specific mental discipline techniques. This is the exact method taught in the mental discipline system, and the entrepreneurs who get the fastest results are the ones who follow the complete framework, not just random tips and tricks. Now, Here's what's really fascinating about this completion system. When you implement it correctly, something almost magical starts happening. Not only do you finish more projects, but you start choosing better projects. Your brain becomes incredibly selective about what deserves your attention because it knows every commitment is sacred. But here's the technique that changes everything. The system that eliminates excitement addiction has 3 core components that work together: the commitment filter, momentum mapping, and the completion ritual. Let me explain what each of these means and how they work together to transform your ability to finish what you start. First, component 1, the commitment filter. Before starting any project, successful people run it through what's called the commitment filter. This is a series of 7 questions that determine whether a project deserves your attention. Most people skip this step and wonder why they lose motivation halfway through. The filter eliminates projects that seem exciting but lack substance, saving you from the pain of another abandonment. Think of it this way: your brain is like a smartphone battery. Every project you commit to drains that battery. The commitment filter ensures you're only spending your mental energy on projects that will actually pay you back. Now, component 2, the momentum mapping. This is where most people fail completely. They think motivation should carry them through the entire project. That's insane. Motivation lasts about 72 hours maximum. After that, you need systems. Here's what happens when people apply this complete system to their business. They go from having multiple unfinished projects draining their mental energy to having a clean slate with focused projects that are all moving toward completion. Income doesn't just increase, it becomes predictable, because when you finish what you start, success becomes inevitable. Momentum mapping breaks every project into micro milestones that trigger dopamine releases throughout the entire journey, not just at the beginning. Instead of one big celebration at the end, you're getting small wins every few days that keep your brain engaged and excited to continue. Finally, component 3, the completion ritual. This is the secret sauce that most people never discover. Every time you finish something, even something small, you perform a specific ritual that trains your brain to crave completion instead of excitement. Your brain literally rewires itself to find finishing more rewarding than starting. The ritual can be as simple as writing "complete" in big letters and taking a photo, or doing a victory dance in your office. What matters is that you're programming your brain to associate massive pleasure with completion, not just with starting new things. Marcus from Chicago is a perfect example of this transformation. When he discovered this system, he'd been working on his online course for 18 months. He had the content, he had the audience, he even had people asking to buy it. But Marcus was trapped in endless perfectionism, constantly restarting and refining instead of finishing and launching. Marcus's problem wasn't knowledge or skill. He knew more about his topic than most experts. His problem was completion paralysis. After implementing the 3-component system, everything changed. Marcus went from 18 months of spinning his wheels to launching his course in 28 days. The course generated $47,000 in its first launch, and it wasn't even perfect. But here's the most important part. Marcus didn't just make money. He built completion confidence. That confidence led him to finish his second course, then a coaching program, then a membership site. Today, Marcus runs multiple income streams, generating over $200,000 per year, all because he learned to finish what he starts. Now, if you're ready to shift your mindset and build unshakable focus, the Mental Discipline for Success Kit has been created, a step-by-step system that gives you a proven structure for shifting your mindset toward growth and completion instead of excitement addiction. Exact habit-building routines that slot into your daily schedule and build your completion confidence muscle. These aren't generic productivity tips, these are scientifically backed techniques that train your brain to crave finishing more than starting. Clear goal focus exercises to make real progress each week, including the momentum mapping system that breaks every project into dopamine-triggering milestones. You'll never lose motivation again because the system generates its own momentum. A library of new activities designed to advance you toward your personal or professional objectives, including the completion ritual that rewires your brain for success instead of sabotage. Everything is laid out in a simple roadmap you follow day by day. In the video description, you'll find the link to obtain your kit today, so you can stop drifting and start achieving. Don't wait, because every day you put off this framework is another day you stay stuck in the cycle. that's costing you thousands of dollars every month. Here's the brutal truth about this mental weakness. It compounds. Every unfinished project makes the next abandonment easier. Every time someone quits when things get difficult, their brain learns that quitting is an option. In the United States, the average person will start and abandon 127 significant projects in their lifetime. That's not just failure. That's financial suicide. Calculations show what this mental weakness costs people, and the numbers are shocking. Over 5 years, the inability to finish projects costs the average entrepreneur at least $340,000 in lost income. But that doesn't count the opportunities that never come, because they don't have the credibility that comes from consistent completion. Your current mental programming got you to where you are right now. If you want different results, you need different programming. Here's one final transformation story. David from Phoenix discovered this system after starting and abandoning his 4th business attempt. He tried e-commerce, consulting, affiliate marketing, and coaching. Each time, he'd start with massive enthusiasm, work for a few months, then lose steam and move on to something else. David was convinced he just couldn't stick with anything. But the real problem was clear. David was addicted to the excitement of starting, not the satisfaction of finishing. Using the mental discipline system, his completion circuits were completely rewired. The system identified why he was choosing projects based on excitement instead of substance, and built new neural pathways that made finishing feel better than starting. Today, David runs a successful digital marketing agency in the United States, generating $180,000 per year. But more importantly, he has the confidence and mental discipline to finish anything he commits to. That's the power of conquering this mental weakness. It's not just about one project. It's about becoming the type of person who naturally creates completion instead of chaos. What I want to tell you with this is that your financial future is waiting for you, but it requires a different version of you to make it reality. The Mental Discipline for Success Kit gives you the exact system to eliminate the mental weakness that's been sabotaging your success. But this isn't available forever. Every month you stay trapped in excitement addiction is costing you thousands in lost income and momentum. You're tired of being someone who starts but never finishes. If you're ready to finally break the cycle that's keeping you broke and frustrated, then click the link in the description right now. Stop losing money to this mental weakness. Don't let another month go by watching opportunities slip through your fingers. Don't let another year pass knowing you could have been financially free if you just learned to finish what you start. Your future successful self is waiting for you to make this decision. The only question is, are you ready to become someone who actually completes what they commit to? Click the link below and let's eliminate this mental weakness forever. You'll find the solution waiting for you on the inside.